Mouse breath.
Little mouse breath over there. Oh, little Lucy. Poor Lucy. What is she going to do? What is she going to do?
I hope it puts her out of work. I was telling Becca and Johnie before we went live, I'm having my yard treated with chrysanthemum granules, which are non-toxic to cats, to clear all the field mice out of the garage, out of the yard, so they don't get in the house.
So we were saying, poor Lucy, what is she going to do? Oh, I see Sylvia and I saw Ellie.
Oh, she was total asshole cat last night. I'm sitting here on the sofa, and she's sitting here, and she keeps knocking my notepads and my calendar and everything off my desk. And she's like, because I always clip pins on the spiral part. She's like messing with all the pins and everything. I'm like, all right, quit knocking everything off. She knocked everything off.
Just now look, she perked up now.
Yeah, she knocked everything off with the cat treats.
They're rude. I just watched that. I'm reading a guy. His cat walked around the table. He's reading cards, and it walked over the cards, walked in his face like this, and he went like that twice, and then it did it again, and then it flopped right in the middle of the thing. I'm like, why do people have cats in their house? I just don't understand.
Because we like assholes.
So it's like, you clearly see me doing something. No, I'm just laid right here.
I got all this other room in the house. I just want to lay right here.
Right here, right in front of you. And let me flick my tail in your face 100 times.
And it did that to him too. It just went flop, flop like that's what it's supposed to do. Like, okay.
So any special announcements?
Like with the manual with cats, like to be assholes.
That's just how they are. That's how they are. They're just assholes.
She loves knocking stuff off.
At least she's one of the. At least she's not one of the asshole cats that like pisses on your stuff on purpose, you know, because I've heard cats do that. Like if they get angry, they'll like piss on your bed or something like that.
Pilar would revenge pee. When I lived in New York, I had these college grad students I was renting my upstairs to for 6 months because they lost their apartment in the middle of the school year to a plumbing issue. And so they had to find somewhere to live for 6 months. So I took them in, let them rent my attic bedroom in New York. And I had Pilar back then. And I said, Pilar is a revenge peer. So if you adore her, she was really cute, really cut, like she would lay in your lap, she would hug you and everything. I said, if you pay attention to her, you have to continue, because if you quit or if you piss her off, she will pee on your pillow. And so I don't know, weeks went by. Thank you, Impish. Weeks went by and they said, oh my God, Pilar peed on my pillow. And I said, what'd you do? Close the door or something and lock her out for a while? And he's like, yeah. And locked her out. And then when he opened the door, she came in and peed on his pillow. I said, revenge pee.
We'd have boxed that day.
I will teach you to ignore me.
Oh my God.
This pretty little prissy cat came in and just squatted on his pillow and let it have it. I said, now you got to buy a new pillow because I warned you. I didn't buy him a new one.
So any announcements, you guys? Any special announcements or anything? Or
week from tomorrow, I'm doing Sacred Sounds of Coffee with Jody Roberts on my channel. So July 4th. Nothing else.
Nothing else. What about you, Mr. Johnie?
We're trying to organize a day and a time for. We were wanting to do a oracle reading, like personal readings with the oracle cards. We're going to use Tony's Morning Sky, not tarot, oracle deck. So we're working on a date and a time, and we'll get back to everyone when we can get one.
Tony did a great 1-hour video where she did a walkthrough of that deck at the beginning. So anybody wants to see it in more detail, see all the cards, she did a great walkthrough on it. It's a beautiful deck.
So Tony has a deck for you guys that are interested, and so does our favorite Auntie Lena. Auntie Lena from Tarot Down Under has. Where's her deck out? It's on Amazon. Johnie?
Amazon, you can pre-order now. It comes out in October. It's called One World Tarot, or you can type in One World Tarot, it should pop up, or you can type in Lena Rodriguez and it'll pop up in Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I've been busy with Grand Tableaus. I was reviewing McConnell.
Your Mitch McConnell one was awesome. I love that one.
I was telling you in the after show that I didn't really pay attention to this last column here. So if I follow this top and then go down like this, it's talking about like there's going to be a lot of calls, because it's birds, a lot of calls to move this forward and promise the public to expand the courts this way and then this way, because Tower sits in the House of Stars. And then in that same row, Stars is on the very bottom. So I'm not saying it's going to happen under Biden. All I'm saying is that there's going to be a lot of calls to expand the courts. But he's like, I want to thank Johnie for helping me out, because it was like, I stare at these so long that sometimes I confuse myself. You know what I mean? And he just doesn't look good at all. And it's like all this shit is happening and he's all the way down here at the bottom, all the way over here. He can't do anything. He doesn't interact with any of the stuff, you know? So I can only knight him.
You were saying that it looks like in the middle of it or somewhere that one of the justices will be leaving. Thank you, Green Nightingale.
It looks like that because it's Scythe, Lilies, and Tower. So, and there's a lot of heated discussions to cut a judge, you know? So it's got
to be either the one that cooperated with Quackanoners or the ones that lied under oath when they said they wouldn't overturn Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, I mean, it's not saying that it's going to actually happen. It's just saying that the calls are going to rise. They increase. And then in this first column here, it's talking about an overbearing, powerful burden on pregnancies, because it's Fox, Bear, Cross, and then Storks. Storks deals with pregnancies, you know, like the stork that brings the baby. So that's also, you know, and these are just the beginning. They've listed an entire laundry list of stuff that they want to overturn. So,
you know, I have a question. Could we start here? You know, with like the protests are just huge and everything. Normally midterms has a lower voter turnout than, you know, in presidential years. Mm-hmm. Will we see an exceptionally high voter turnout in the midterms this year because of overturning Roe v. Wade?
Okay.
Will it be higher than typical in a midterm year? We've got the anxiety card on the bottom. Everybody's anxious. And thank you, everyone, for the super chats that you sent to my PayPal after the Petty Boots Club demonetization last week. Greatly appreciated.
I just saw a poll today too that that said that based on the Supreme Court ruling against overturning of Roe v. Wade, they did a poll, and among Democrats, it increased their turnout by 57%. 57%. Independents increased by 23%, and then Republicans didn't really. It was like a wash, you know. So.
Yeah, I'm getting all this sneaky corruption. Everybody is watching and passing judgment on it, and I get the surprise card. People are not having it. I get a big old yes. They will turn out to vote, tell their friends to vote, and they want to see. They're fighting for a change in the courts. They want different justices. So, yep.
I get yes too. The Four of Swords and then the Star. People are now going to get up from this retreat. They're going to go out in numbers they haven't before, which hopefully is a trend, because this is what happened with Trump. Is okay, there is absolutely no way I could possibly stay home because he's got to go. And so maybe that's what will happen now, because here you have the devilish alliance on the other side there with the two.
Don't bring me into this, Johnie. Don't bring me into this.
And then the Page of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. So yes, they will. There's also going to be a media campaign to get this done too. So probably a lot more protests, a lot more women's marches and things like that. Or marches for women, I guess you should say, because this is going to invigorate both sexes. So it's, yes.
In abundance. So, and I saw a comment earlier from Linda Tinsley, I think it's her name. I'm with you. I'm in that same boat, girl. So I hear you. So I guess since we're on the SCOTUS decision, AOC has been calling for the impeachment of judges. I doubt that that's going to happen. I doubt it. But can we ask, will they be impeached?
Yeah, they could impeach, but the question is, will they get removed by the Senate? The House can impeach all day long, but doesn't mean anybody will get removed.
So we're asking about a general, any conservative, or in particular one?
She was talking about the three most recent: Robert Barrett, I Like Beer, and the other guy. They all lied. If you want to get technical, so did homeboy over there. What's his name? Thomas. And when they showed that on the TV, they all sound scripted, like they all got the same script. That settled law. That settled law. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just lay right in the middle of the cards.
Lucy, don't be an asshole, Lucy.
Right smack in the middle. I get their support, to impeach, and like investigations on the bottom here. There's hope, and also the money behind the judges, looking at that, and who's like pushing them through, hoping that there's a change in how everything is structured. I do get that there will maybe be an impeachment, but I don't get removal. It's like it's offered up for image sake, but I don't get removal.
No, somebody leaves, but not by that account. This because this is not answering that in particular question, but it starts with justice in Hierophant, so we're on the right track. But they're still there. Ace of Wands world, they're still there. They have the success, and people don't leave their jobs because you don't like them. But somebody is separated somehow, some way, just not by this accord.
I'm wondering if it's because Clarence is a pompous asshole. And the only way I can see him losing or moving away is if there's something that seriously implicates his wife. You know what I mean? Like, and even then he might not,
Implicates his wife and him, that he was aware of it because he never recused himself from any of her cases.
I get that there's a very powerful man that is quite famous. So it didn't say yes or no. It's like, there's a man here. So let's ask this. AOC has also been calling on on Biden to put abortion clinics on federal lands. Now, let me say this for everybody in the chat, because I've seen it on the community page. Yes, military bases will be performing abortions. However, that is only for active duty military and their immediate family members, their dependents, their wives, kids, whatever. That does not mean that someone from the public can just stroll onto base to get an abortion. That is not how that works. So let me make it clear again for those in the back. The military will be offering abortion services to active duty military and their immediate family, their dependents, not anybody else. Okay, we're just talking federal lands here. So will Biden open abortion clinics on federal lands?
I get no, but there will be something like he's stuck on that. Like he can't do that. He's working on something in secret. I get yes that will get illuminated soon, where he will offer up something. But it's crazy with all this judgment. I get moving forward somehow with the justices on the higher court. And pushing back, bullying back. So I don't know if that's expanding the court or if that's getting somebody off by investigating them or what. So I don't get anything on federal lands, but I get he does something else.
I get the federal land thing here. No. With the Hierophant and the Three of Swords. There is something they have victory on, though, with the Six of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles, something that they can implement that it's something that already exists, though. And it's like you can add that to its services. What that is, I have no idea. But federal land, no, but there's a workaround.
And it's funny you say that too, because I think Merrick Garland came out the other day and was talking about the abortion pill. And even in the red states that have banned abortion, you can still get abortion pills in those red states.
Because you can't outlaw them.
Because you can't outlaw them. Mm-hmm. No, I get no. There's something that changes in the government or in the courts. It changes, but it's not federal land. So I don't know if this just means that there's going to be increased stuff that happens in the courts in those certain states, but not federal lands. Also, companies that are paying for people to move or fly somewhere, because this is an institution. This would be like flying and then the money.
That did come out this week that there are some companies that are offering to fly their employees to other states if they have a need.
Amazon and Starbucks are currently two that I know for sure will pay for their employees.
There's like 6 or 7 of them.
There's more. I didn't take a screenshot of it. I saw it on Twitter. Somebody had taken a screenshot of it on the news. I know Tesla is on there because Tesla just recently moved from Silicon Valley to Texas. So it's like, even though I hate Elon Musk because he's a freaking evil son of a bitch, but Zillow's doing it, Redfin is doing it, Redbubble's doing it, Starbucks is doing it. Like, there's a crap ton of corporations that are offering to help pay partial expenses or all of the expenses for their employees to go somewhere else to get,
The sad part is that means you have to tell something that's very private to your employer. That's the sad part. Like, it's no longer private.
Yep. So here's my next question. Business and money, we all know, let's not pretend we don't, has a huge influence on politics, like a lot. So my question is, these red states that are banning abortions, what is going to be the economic impact to those states?
Yeah, like, will companies move out of those states? All right, start out with the loss right on the bottom and a big yes card there. They will have a loss. It'll make them start looking at things differently financially. People leaving their states and taking the money with them. They're gonna have to give more incentive financially, like more tax breaks or something. So, like, DeSantis probably needs to give Disney back their tax break, right? Yeah, people aren't having it. They're just not having it.
I mean, they did it to Mike Pence when he signed his "you can't be gay in Illinois" or Indiana thing, and then it's like, okay, well, we're stationed here, we're leaving. We're stationed here, we're leaving. And it's like, I mean, second thought. I mean, why not? Why do such a thing? This is the same thing. It's a direct hit with the Queen of Wands and the Eight of Swords. It binds, but it's not covert. This is something where they are reacting to this directly. So it's like, this is the reason why, not because of this and this and this. This is the reason why. The Hermit and the Lovers, they are withdrawing from the relationship, and it does cause some lack and some poverty. Five of Pentacles. I like when they're easy, because it's just, this, you can't read that no other way. So it's like, and then, yes, it will have an impact on the finances. Ace of Pentacles with the Sun, it will be obvious. And the Nine of Swords, it will cause some worry, especially if very large companies start to shift operations. That's a lot of jobs to lose at one time. And especially if nobody is paying for the relocation thereof of their employees. So, and not to mention, there are states like Colorado who told Disney, hey, if you ever want to leave. So it's like, there's a place for those companies to go that would love to have an Amazon factory in, Wichita, Kansas or whatever. So it's, yeah, it will hurt.
I get that. Here's the thing, though. Like, these people just waged war. They waged war on women, and this most importantly affects women in the lower socioeconomic classes. You know what I mean? Women that don't have the resources to get on a plane to go somewhere else to go get an abortion. And you're going to force them to give birth, even if it's from incest or rape, and make her carry that burden. By the way, when you are against providing services after that child is born, so it's like, I mean, I'm sorry to say those people are already suffering. You're going to make them suffer more. But at the same time, I hope your entire effing state suffers until you eat shit. I get it's going to cause a lot of pain and suffering for people, like a lot. Like, this is heavy, so it's going to be.
Yeah, because if companies start pulling out, then there's not as many jobs, and then
there's not as many jobs. And then what's your state going to do? Now you got unemployment through the roof. And don't come to us blue states to go bail you out. Fuck you.
Well, the problem is the people that are in the marginalized income
communities,
families, they can't afford to pick up and move.
No, and I saw somebody in the chat that was saying, maybe all the women in the red states to move to blue states. First of all, moving is expensive.
Yeah.
Moving is very expensive, especially from one state to the other. Second of all, blue states are normally a lot more expensive than red states. So if you're already marginalized, how the hell are you going to afford to live somewhere else?
And can I say this too, just as a person who has grown up with a lot of marginalized people, especially poor people, they also don't vote. And so that's something that needs to be worked on, especially by if they're Democrat or whoever. They need to mobilize these people to get them to actually care. I worked with a woman. I told this story on one of my walk-arounds. She's lesbian. She's got kids, and she's just got married. Does not vote. She doesn't care because she's very low income, and it's like, whoever's in office. I was poor under Bush. I'm poor under Obama. I'll be poor under Trump. Blah blah blah. They don't care. But at the same time, it's like, but you see one side is inching away or grabbing foot by foot your rights away. And so let's say, for instance, because you're still in childbearing ages, she has 3 kids, you get, never mind rape and incest. What if you're just about to die from this birth because you're now sick, or whatever is happening on the inside ain't going the way it's supposed to? Okay, you're going to have to either go full term and hopefully you don't die, roll the dice, or you go in and vote and get the people who are stripping your rights away, especially as a gay woman, your rights away. So I see it all the time. They don't vote. Yeah. They don't care.
Take away your gay marriage rights, and she might.
They're coming for that next. And it's like, and here's the thing too. It's like they just waged war against women. They seriously did. And I cannot wrap my head around how any woman can sit there.
Yeah. They won't be satisfied till they take our right to vote away, because we come out in droves. Republicans don't like women in the workforce competing with the white men who feel demasculated.
And you know what? All these motherfuckers in these red states that just got their draconian laws passed, like Bo of the Fifth Column was saying, congratulations, you're the dog that caught the car. Wait till that shit comes out and starts impacting your communities. Then what? Yeah. Then what?
You got a bunch of broken down cars on the road you got to clear.
And then like Jenny, like you were saying, they don't want women in the workforce. Okay, get rid of them. Good luck forcing a man in the house. Since you took away your rights to abortion and you took away the rights for contraceptives, good luck on the husband or the boyfriend or whoever the fuck to feed their mouth, and then your 20 kids because you don't have access to birth control on an income that hasn't gone up in 35 years.
Yeah.
Make that make sense.
And I will also say too that it just walked away from me. Never mind.
You will also say too that
it went away. It wasn't important.
And then these people these draconian laws, like if you miscarried, then we're going to throw you in prison, as if that's your body's natural way of purging something.
That's what we've seen this before, or when we did a reading on the age of Aquarius, is that there will be an attack by men, especially the more and more their power is starting to lose. Because after Biden, if you get a female president, then they're really going to hit the fan. So they're fighting back, and they're trying to strip everything a woman can do and can't do away from her. So
it's the last hurrah of the patriarchal society. So for the next 20 to 30 years, as we move into that age of Aquarius, you're going to see more and more attacks on women.
And that's, like Jenny said, the last hurrah from the patriarchy. And I say, fuck the patriarchy. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. So can we look at
because we're petty that way.
Yes, we are petty. I forgot my petty card. It's over there. But I got my horn. I'm probably going to get demonetized for all the F-bombs I'm throwing tonight, but whatever. I don't care. Can we look at Mitch McConnell over the next 3 months?
We should call it the Demonetized Petty Boots Club.
Yeah,
that's basically what it's turning into, because all this petty crap keeps coming out.
Next 3 months.
Mitch McConnell over the next 3 months?
Well, can we look at him past the midterms till the end of the year?
Let's say till January 3rd when they inaugurate in all the people that win. Did I hear you get your charms out, Becca?
Yep, I haven't used them in a while, so I'm using the little
I love your charms. For those that are newer subscribers, she uses a mat with the charms, and it's sort of like Lenormand.
Mm-hmm.
Created by KARIN.
Yes, KARIN from Tea with KARIN.
Well, let's just say he's not going to be majority leader right off the bat. He's got that sense of nostalgia, that longing for it and everything. But I get like donors walking away from him. All the corruption getting investigated here. Work will not be the same for him. Will not be the same. He's going to have a transition here because of all the sneaky things they do. And I get sneaky stuff going on with the elections and how elections are secured and everything. But nobody wants Mitch in power. Nobody. So, yeah, he's got a rough few months. I don't get him as majority leader.
See if I can shorten this. There's a nearest I get a donor. Well, no, not really. I did 16 cards though.
Oh, okay. Take your time. Take your time, please.
There's a donor walking away. I do get here King of Pentacles with the Ace of Cups and the Six of Swords and then the Five of Pentacles. So he loses out some support there, some money or whatever the case may be. He does, however, get something he's invested in. He gets a windfall from that, like personal finance. There's a lot of abundance in there, Three of Pentacles and the Empress. So there's a lot of money, a lot of abundance. It's something he's invested in, but it could also be through his wife, because I get the Lover's card and Six of Wands. So somebody important that he's in a relationship with. So whatever that is, possibly, all the in those things. So it could be something like that. He is also trying to get some sort of campaign going to move away from the Fool with the Six of Cups and the Fool. Somebody childish and foolish. So he is trying to get some sort of campaign to move away from that. Hangman, the Five of Wands, the Hermit, and the Ace of Pentacles. He is going to have a very, very, very hard time changing votes for some reason or another. So something is not secure. It doesn't have a clear way forward, even though they had this. I mean, he's been in Senate for 862 years. So it's like you would think this works exactly the same every single year. For some reason or another, not so much. He's having a hard time conquering this. This is too much diversity and too much input from other places. And so I think the diversity also comes in the fact that half of their party is Trumpian. And so if you're not supporting Donald Trump, which he claims sometimes he is, sometimes it's not, I'd vote for him again, but we need to move forward, is mixed messages for I don't like him. And people see that. So for whatever reason, he has the trouble securing some votes. There's also, again, him and Trump are going to have words. Well, Trump is going to tweet or whatever he does, because he's going to have some support being pulled back from that. But it is going to be in the form of some sort of physical message, so like a tweet or letter, or he doesn't write letters because I don't think Trump knows how to hold ink pens. But if you gave him, I guess, a Sharpie, he could figure it out. The Six of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Hermit, there is also something here he is trying to move. He's behind trying to get Jules, the little smoking apparatuses, taken off the market and changing the smoking age and all that. He's like one of the engines behind that. So right now they've got to stay on it, and they can still exist as a company. But for whatever reason, he's still trying to shut that down. The Ace of Cups, the Star, and the Five of Wands. He is going to be. There's someone he was in cahoots with, but this does not spell court for him. It just spells news story. Mitch McConnell was talking to whoever on the day of January 6th or whatever, like that type of thing. But it doesn't spell court because I don't really think he had a hand in that fight, believe it or not. And then his leadership is called into question by people who are Trumpian. So somebody else on the outside here. This is a man who used to have dark hair, or it's salt and pepper now, or it's a odd auburny color type of thing. He is a person who is coming up in the ranks as far as Republicans go. He is going to call into question his success and his position. So maybe he doesn't need to be minority leader anymore. So there may be one of those situations where they're trying to replace Mitch McConnell, or just call for the replacement of Mitch McConnell.
And for those who need stress eating, little PSA announcement. Walgreens has on sale the s'mores pack of Hershey candy bars. It's 6 full-size candy bars for the price of 5. On sale now at your local Walgreens.
You know what I just saw the other day at Target, and I was like, "Don't you do it, you fat ass! You keep moving your ass down this aisle." You know what I saw at Target? They have this. It's like, you know, those little tin foil, like baking sheets that you use that are like you one and done. You throw it out, but it was pre-made with s'mores. So you just pop it in the oven and it makes it into a s'more. The whole thing into a s'more. And I was looking at it.
It's kind of like that movie that had the conveyor of making s'mores that you loved.
Yeah, and I was like, "Don't you do it, you fat ass."
I have a follow-up question to this. What'd you get, Becca?
I get that there's a lot of growth in the house. And it's so weird. And I know Johnie and I are getting conflicting readings because he's saying no, but it's like, maybe I'm misinterpreting it, you know, because it's tree on house, growth in the house. And a lot.
I got the House he can get, the Senate he can't. That's what I got, I think.
Yeah, and that's where our readings are a little bit wonky. There's something going on there because mine show that the house is not certain at all. And here I got tree on the little house. So growth in the house, you know, and then serious legal issues, like not for him, but the country, because it's the scales, you know, the little scales, these things, the scales of justice on the tower and the letter L, serious legal stuff, in regards to organized religious groups, angel in house 12 touching the cross on the top. So it's the friends that he has, or people that he associates with, eagle on the little dog, that have been very hawkish. The Christians, the religious nuts, that are going to cause serious legal issues and give them a crap ton of just problems. And there's going to be a lot of chit chat and chatter, the teapot on the tea cup, gossip, lots of chit chat, people talking about expansion, something that needs to expand and grow. So I don't
Pluto return.
I got a question. You know,
Yeah.
all the Republicans go on Fox News all the time. Lindsey Graham loves going on there. Why does McConnell never go on Fox News? You never see him doing interviews on Fox.
Foxes eat turtles, I guess.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank you, Paula. Mm-hmm.
I think he structures it that way intentionally. It's like there's an abundance of treachery that's going on. He wants to sit pretty and try to look like he's all balanced and fair, but he has his other minions that he works with that go on and do his talking for him and cast judgment and try to get people to transition how they look at something, the image of everything. So he's being sneaky and manipulative for the Republicans to disrupt things, but he's doing it in a support mode. Like he's sending. He doesn't want to be the one in front of the camera, so nothing can, like Trump, like nothing comes back and touches it.
Mm-hmm.
I get he has in particular people he talks to there. So like he does, I suppose, have someone he talks to. But he also has bad relationships for whatever reason or another with people there too. So he doesn't go for everybody. He may talk to one or two people. He also does not want to lay out his plans in public. So he does minimum talking and he does the politician speak. We do this and this and this for the American people. The American people is not a whole thing. It's not a monolith. We're all different. So it's, you're not doing nothing for me. So he doesn't want his plans laid out there too. He'd rather just do the political thing, save image, save face. Everything has to be carefully orchestrated. It has to be pretty.
I get it's because he has let me get these cards. There's someone there or some people there that he does not have good relations with.
That he what?
That he does not have good relations with. He doesn't have, it's not the relationship that he wants, or that relationship is deteriorating. It's missing something. It's not in his favor. It's like it's bad relationships. So I don't know who that is. If it's Rupert Murdoch, if it's one of the Murdoch kids, if it's somebody else, I don't know. But it's bad relationships. So why was Merrick Garland in the UK? And did he go to the UK or the Ukraine? He was in the Ukraine, right?
Ukraine.
So why was Merrick Garland in?
He met with Zelensky. Something about how things are structured again. I get, first of all, support for a foreign leader, and let him know that Biden's behind him, and shine a light on that. But I get he talked to him about something else that he's holding very close to his chest. And I think that had to do with possibly some Republicans and things that they did to try to shake things up with Zelensky that he doesn't like. So whether that was Trump's quid pro quo deal, whatever it is, he got the inspiration that he needed, and it brought him to higher ground. So he got something about a deal that was going on and was manipulated. He got something else that maybe we didn't know about.
So I was asking, why do people need to go places? You can have conversations over the phone, over Skype. You don't need to go all the way around the world to have a conversation. And then I hear, well, some conversations you cannot have through electronics. You need to be face to face. And so I'm like, okay, well then pull the cards. This is something from someone in the past. Justice in a person in the past that has something to do with financing. Now, I see in the chat about the war crimes and stuff, and that may be, but that ain't what I got. So all this is money and manipulation of money and defeat of money by some man. Not even necessarily Donald Trump, just some man here. So that was a part of their conversation.
Interesting. I'm getting that this was a meeting to learn, a very creative, honorable meeting to learn something important about weapons here. So I don't know if he was there to assess what weapons are needed, what weapons are missing, what sort of assistance they need in regards to weapons or strikes, because this is very aggressive strike, danger, to learn about that. There's also a very honorable meeting to perhaps figure out or get answers to some classified information, because this is also secrets or something that's classified. Here's the access and the opening to it. Perhaps to get some knowledge on classified stuff and get access to this right here. So I don't know if this would be in regards to war crimes, because like I said, again, aggressive attacks, aggressive strikes, but also classified information into weapons as well. Also abuse here, that's very pointed. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like
that was directed at. So I wonder if this has to do with some of the documents Trump took to classified documents Trump took to Mar-a-Lago.
You guys want to read on that? I'm going to sit this one out because I had done a box spread before, and I was getting that it was something to do with his impeachment, his first impeachment, not the second one.
Which is over.
That's what mine said. Is it's something about a person in the past withholding financing.
Yeah.
So that's what I.
Which is what Trump did in the first impeachment.
So I'm wondering what classified information he took that had to do with his impeachment. Perhaps it was related to weapons or strikes or areas that were vulnerable in the Ukraine, or classified information in regards to that sensitive area that he just took home and left in boxes in Mar-a-Lago.
Or shared it with Putin, you know, yep. Like here's your targets.
You know, so that's.
Can we ask?
Yeah,
we ask, did Trump share information with Putin that was classified about Ukraine?
Oh, about the Ukraine? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're all getting it. It had something more to do with that first impeachment and what Trump was doing with the quid pro quo. I get a yes. Victory on the bottom with that, you know, moving forward to cause an imbalance in the Ukraine, justice here, and that was his hopes, to bring something to an end quickly. I get he gave him something tangible, like all the time, steadily cooperating with him, and big yes cards, the devil and Putin.
Hey, why you guys keep bringing me into this shit, man? Like, I'm just over here trying to round up the bad people. Jesus' children, okay? Let me remind you. And give them a whooping for being bad. Don't make me out to be the bad guy.
You've been a busy bee.
Thank you, Beatrice. I get yes, but it was not just them, it was regional. So it may be more than just Ukraine, could have been Poland and everybody else. But there was specific something about sites. Like this is where this is where that is. So it's something about specific sites, especially where something is in reserve. So they may have tried to smash and grab type thing. Go blow up something and take this type of thing. I know they took a bunch of, what was it they took that didn't work once they got it? It was like tanks or something like that. They took some, but that ain't what this is. That's just a recollection. But they took something to Russia that wouldn't work once they got it.
Mm-hmm. I get yes. He might have been a little bit murky because he's an idiot and he likes to keep his briefing under 5 minutes because he's got the attention span of a rock. So yeah, he gave him info, he rewarded him, and he was a lot uncertain or very confused on what he was saying, but he did give information.
He sent him a folder full of, it says classified and confidential, and it's full of McDonald's receipts in there.
Yeah. Freaking idiot, man. I swear to God.
So, a few naked pictures of Melania.
Ew, can you imagine? That woman, I've seen her naked pictures on the internet. She ain't got no ass. No ass. You put all that money up here on your boobies, you should have gotten it on your ass, bro. Because you're like this, like a board. But anyways, sorry about that. Okay, so will Dems be able to stop?
Not to be petty or anything.
Which is wrong. I shouldn't go after how people look, but that's one special one right there.
Well, she's. I mean, if she can go with the "I don't care, do you?" then she's off. She's not off limits. Okay, go right ahead.
Nope, everything on you is on limits, girl. So will Dems be able to stop the slide into authoritarianism?
Well, magician popped out. Good sign.
So, if I can't get the job as the devil, can somebody please make me into a vampire? Because I have a whole laundry list of people I would gladly eat. So if anybody knows how.
Well, just take me out. I'll haunt them from the other side.
Well, I can't take you out because then I'll be lonely without you and Johnie. So I'll eat them until you're ready to die.
I'll haunt you. No. I'll haunt you. You won't be lonely, and I'll be quite vocal.
No, Jenny, this is what's going to happen. Right before you die, then I'll turn you into a vampire too, and Johnie. So the three of us can just
I'm already a vampire. I hate the sun. I love the moon. I love the cold. I don't like cemeteries, though. I don't. So maybe I'm not. But
I got a cemetery right over here. Right over here. I don't like it though because it's one of the new ones and it looks like a golf course with headstones.
It's gross. Mm-hmm. I find it disgusting.
It's really going to be important, the women's votes, what I'm getting. They are offering things up that will lead us away from authoritarianism. They're working on it really hard with the investigations and shining a light on it. I get they're disrupting authoritarianism. I get a yes through the courts. They'll be quite successful through the courts. They'll be able to block a lot of things that they're doing that affect the impoverished. But I get success. It's not, they're getting weary, they're getting worn out, but I get yes.
Yes, I get that too. There will be trouble. It starts with the magician, so the power is there. The Six of Swords, yes, is the transition, but you have to go through the muddy, rocky waters first, and then you go into. But the Six of Swords is inside the boat, which means you still carry baggage. So we can stop it on a national level, but not a local level. So you still have Kansas, you still have a Kansas mentality. You still have Oklahoma, you still have an Oklahoma mentality. You still have Florida, you still have a Florida mentality. So the authoritarian is still here, the King of Wands, but it will be isolated. It will be something that is in specific places, which means you just need to mobilize and vote better there. But we will find some balance with the Star and the Nine of Cups. This is not the time for wishful thinking. Hope is not a strategy, as they say. So we will find some balance, but it is once we get the pie out of the sky type of mentality out of the way. We can't just wave the magic wand and expect it to be done. This is something that's an ongoing fight, because these kind of people do not give up just because you voted them out. They turn from the Tea Party to the MAGA Party. So they're still here. They just call themselves something different, and they regroup, and they go back out again. So this is an ongoing fight, but yes.
I get the Clover, the Garden, and the Fox. Yes, this is an opportunity for the public to get very crafty and kind of suspicious. You know what I mean? Double check, investigate stuff. With that said, the Democratic Party is not a saint either, because this also reads as an opportunity for networks to manipulate. What are they manipulating? The public. Do you see what I'm saying? So, like, here's an example. As soon as Roe v. Wade happened, when they overturned it, I got at least 7 emails from Nancy Pelosi to donate money. No. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like it's an opportunity to fundraise, to manipulate the public. See what I'm saying here? So it's almost like, yes, but you have to hold your elected officials accountable and vote smart, investigate people. Don't just, and another thing too, with an organization or a party that is manipulative, undercover, covert. I saw in the chat a few weeks ago, vote blue down ballot. No, don't do that, because there's a lot of Republicans that are running as Democrats. It's happening in Los Angeles. They're covert. Do you see what I'm saying? So they get in there as a Democrat, but they vote and legislate as Republicans. Do you see what I'm saying?
But you have to investigate what they stand for, what their platform
what their ethics are, who's funding them, what their views are, their history. So yes, but the public here, society needs to get very crafty and pay attention. So don't get bamboozled just because they have a D by their name. Look at Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema. She ran as a progressive. You know what I'm saying? So don't get bamboozled, and hold your elected officials accountable. So, all right, let me see here. Will Giuliani be indicted?
He's already been raided. Broadcast, raided, Rudy Tooty, 4 Seasons, Adult Bookstore, Giuliani.
Wait, did you get his melting
crematorium, Giuliani. I left out crematorium.
You left out crematorium. Melting.
I left out melting. Melting, broadcast, raided, Rudy Tooty, 4 Seasons, Adult Bookstore, crematorium, Giuliani. There we go.
Rudy Giuliani being indicted.
By the time I got through that, I was like, what was the question? He lost his law license in a couple of states. He's got more. He probably will get indicted. Oh, and he said this week, this was funny. He said that he was afraid he would be remembered and it would be on his tombstone that he lied for Trump. But it's like, if it isn't on his tombstone, I'm taking a permanent marker and putting it on it.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Did you see that interview that they showed on the January 6th committee where he's all like this? And he's like, well, you got to put somebody in there who doesn't care about ruining their reputation. It's like, seriously, like, I don't think you were supposed to say that out loud, you buffoon.
He got slapped at a grocery store.
He got slapped in a grocery store?
That's what the chat is saying. He got slapped at the grocery store. Now, don't be hitting people now. Even him.
No.
Don't hit him.
Don't hit him. Take a banana peel and put it in his path so he slips and busts his own ass.
dangle a alcoholic beverage in front of him.
I mean, he did try to destroy the country, but
he's gonna have regrets. I get really, really soon. They're working on in the Justice Department indictments, judgment. I get an abundance of them getting ready to slam him like now. He is like, he's in trouble. Knock knock, you get a subpoena. It's he's going down for Trump. He's going down for Trump.
I cannot, Jen, I cannot believe that these old rich white men are about to spend the rest of their lives in a federal prison for an orange buffoon that's out golfing in Mar-a-Lago. Like, they'll tell him everything.
You know, he's not going to be able to get his alcohol there, so he's going to have the DTs the whole time.
It's going to be like his detox. Jail's going to be his detox.
I get the Queen of Swords. There is a legal matter, but it's more, yes, is the answer. It's yes. Ten of Swords and the Temperance, whatever it was he was working on or working with, or whoever he was in cahoots with, that relationship is destroying him. They're also the Three of Swords. Betrayal does not come from your enemies. The Ten of Swords, it comes from everywhere. They stab you in the back because they can, and they can use your corpse to get to a higher plane. So he's being taken down by those around him, like the Lev Parnassus and the Igor from the Tower of London or wherever he was from. So it's like all of these people are basically saying, okay, if I do him in, I can get a lesser sentence. If I do him in, I can get a lesser sentence. Or if I do him in, I can get away altogether. And so, yeah, everybody's lining up and they got their swords out. So,
thank you, Margaret. I was just asking my pendulum if he was going to get indicted in July, because I'm getting like something soon. I was getting a yes.
There's somebody in the law that's already got him. They got him pinned.
yeah.
There's the courts and the law. There's a man. So I don't know if this is Merrick Garland or one of his prosecutors or whoever. They got him pinned.
Too.
Could be DC, but there's a man has him pinned. They've secured it. They've reached their goal. They've achieved what they had to achieve. Now it's just TikTok. So, okay, let's play bingo. Who's going to be the next to get rated? Get petty. Let's change the subject and get real petty, you guys. Who's going to be the next to get rated? I'm sorry, I know that law enforcement doesn't like that. So, how do they like to
I mean, there's nobody's names on here, so we can generalize.
I just heard a name.
What'd you hear, Dan? What'd you hear?
I want to see what the cards say. Hang on.
For the purposes of entertainment only.
Yes, for the purpose of entertainment only, we are not.
I had my own idea about who would get rated next, but let's see. Ooh, anxiety for somebody.
Shit in your pants.
Stand outside in your jammies. We're going to take everything in your house. Matt, as somebody in chat pointed out, MAGA, make attorneys get attorneys.
Yeah. My attorney got an attorney.
My attorney got arrested. MAGA.
Who gets rated next?
Ooh. It's more than one. Well, they've been raiding fake electors.
All the
Ooh, there's more than one. Ooh, I get an abundance of them for treachery they've done. They all gonna have regrets. Knock knock. We're here. We're gonna take everything. We're gonna be quite successful here. It's everybody that worked on the big lie and trying to burden everything. All of those. But I get in particular one man that did something in secret that's been illuminated, and I heard Matt Gaetz. That was the name I heard.
Oh,
I always
thought.
I always felt like Eastman would be the next one to get raided, and I do feel like Eastman will probably get raided, but I heard Matt Gaetz.
No, I would love for that piece of shit to be over there in the middle of a press conference with his idiot
in his jammies
in the screen. No, in the press conference, and then here, FBI, you're under arrest, blah 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 blah. And now you're that's abuse. Like that would be. I would record.
What do you think is on Matt Gaetz's jammies?
Oh no.
What do you think is on his jammies?
Poop stains.
Shit stains.
So, I get. It's a person who is very wealthy through passive income, so it's not something they earned. They may have done a job for it, a couple of things actually, for it, but it comes in without them continuing to do such a thing. They're also very rich because it was somebody else who earned it as well. So it could be like inherited money or money that was passed down, but because they're not, the person that they get money from is not deceased. So it's like they're in a rich family type thing. They're also trying to balance image and work. So they may already be in the news for something, and it's financial as well. And it has something to do with their house and their cars, or there's something like that too. So it's something of that nature. Is domestic. So it's drawing attention.
Well, kind of like MTG buying a car out of her campaign finance.
Could be that too. This is also, they have something to do. Either they have small children, or they worked in a place, or they have some sort of investment that benefits upon children, or they have something to do with children. And I clarified this with the 7 of Wands, so they're defensive about children. So either they are trying to be polite. So either you're defensive around children, or you are a person who is defending children, which Republicans don't normally do. So they're a very wealthy person who has passive income. That's how they got rich. And they have some sort of defensive position around little people.
Ooh, that sounds like Matt Gaetz to me.
I have a follow-up question.
On the Twitter feed that has pictures with high school girls. You won't see that on everybody.
I mean, to be fair, it could be that this person has small children. So if it's not him, this person may have small children.
Okay, I got the sun, the fox, anchor, key, and snake. One way to read this: successful investigation has achieved access to a liar. Someone that was successful in the workplace to achieve something to give them access to betray. So I don't know if this is a person that was actively flipping votes, or actively like one of the fake electors. But those guys have already been getting
somebody that arranged the fake electors.
Because this person was a very important person that was strategizing with Fox and Key, to achieve the success through betrayals and lies. But at work, it's looking like someone that was a key person in the whole scheme of things. In the entire planning process sort of situation, this person was a key strategist, a key mastermind, and he's the one that came up with the plan to achieve something. I have no character. Yeah, I have no character cards or anything. The only character card I have is this, which is the Queen of Clubs, but I don't think that's it. So it's someone that was very smart.
How many Republicans requested pardons? You had Gohmert and Gates and MCG and Biggs, and
they're counting 6. They're counting 6 in total. However, Jim Jordan was very crafty on how he worded it, because he didn't directly ask about
for the group, for everyone in the meeting.
So counting him, it would be 7 people total.
So will there be any raids on the Congress people who requested pardons?
I forget where I read that. It's some congressperson said that's not normal. Hey, can I have a pardon? That's not normal.
Submitting Scott Perry, that's the one I always forget. Scott Perry. Oh, Brooks. Anxiety card again on the bottom card of the night. Somebody's going to be nervous in their jammies. I'm telling you, he's got puppy dogs on his jammies. That's what I'm seeing.
I was thinking more like pictures of naked girls on his jammies or something.
I've seen that image before of him with like race cars and weird stuff on like the top and bottom. I mean, it's not weird, but for a person in his position, you don't need to have anything to do with adolescence nowhere near you. It's not. You should have a house full of glass and sharp corners. Like, this is not a kid-friendly house.
And that's it. Like, I'm gonna shut up.
Republicans with regrets standing out in the cold in their jammies. So maybe in the wintertime, standing out, big yes card. Maybe also, again, to Johnny's point, looking into cars or transportation or something. But I'm getting 3. 3 of them, maybe more. We'll see. But 3 of them, when the time is right. Corruption, I'm getting be patient. So it may be a little bit be patient, but I'm getting like they work together on this corrupt scheme. They're probably going to jail. I'm getting 3.
I get 3. There's 10 people altogether. There's 3 people that are, I guess, prominent, more prominent than others, but there's one in particular they are isolating. And this is conjecture. Again, ain't none of this true until you see it in the news, but I believe, not to give away the strategy, but again, conjecture. You isolate one to scare the others. And so if I get this person outside in the cold at 3 a.m. and everybody sees it and they're embarrassed and blah, 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 and I got a whole office full of all of your crap, then if it's Gates, then Marjorie and Boebert and all the other people or whoever said, hey, can I have a pardon? Now they're worried. Now it's like, okay, I was in that meeting with you. Are they coming after me next? So I think they're going to isolate one to scare the others into possible communications.
And I'm sure the
FBI Brooks is already trying to work out his agreement to testify. They're going to know what size underwear they wore and the last time they laundered it.
I would hope. I'm very certain that the FBI is extremely intelligent. But I'm sure that they figured out their strategy, pick the lowest hanging fruit, the one that make it Marjorie Taylor Greene, because that bitch is a coward. She likes to sit there and lie. You put her under oath. I don't recall. And like how she likes to mouth off to people. I would love to see her try to mouth off to an FBI agent. I would love.
You don't have to read her Miranda rights anymore either.
No, you don't. You don't. Thank you, Supreme Court.
Yeah.
I get. Will any members of Congress get a raid? Yes. There's your members of Congress. There's somebody, an investigator, while you're sleeping. Also, at home, there's someone that comes in while you're sleeping.
In your jammies. If you're better be wearing your jammies because you're going out in the cold, whether you got them on or not.
I would love to see them raid Marjorie Taylor Greene. Just to, she's all.
Who is it? Bitch, who you think it is? FBI.
I would love to see her try to get mouthy with an FBI agent. That bitch would be shitting her pants and going ghost white in like 2 seconds. You just know. You just know. So this question is coming from Allie. I'm going to sit this one out. Allie wanted to know, why is Ginny Thomas susceptible to joining cults?
I should do a spread on her too.
You should, and then you're going to get all icky. You're going to be like, why the hell did I do that? You're like, I don't have enough Palo Santo in my house to get.
Okay.
She's got some issues from past lives also. So if you don't work on yourself in previous lifetimes and then you come in and you're just more susceptible, she's worn down, she's more susceptible. I get, like, from past lives, very naive, something that she should have blocked and not done. She's just stupid. I hate to say that. She's just an idiot. She's foolish. And she feels supported in cults. So it's structurally something with her because she hasn't done the work on herself. So it progressively gets worse. So you watch her come back in the next lifetime and she'll be like schizophrenic or something, like she progressively is going to have all kinds of mental issues is what I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
Mental abuse as a child. That's what I get. I get the 5 of Swords, there's defeat, and then the Page of Swords and the 9 of Wands. In her childhood was very pressured, especially mentally speaking, with the Page of Swords, 7 of Swords, and the 3 of Pentacles. She was in one forever. So I think we on the outside call it a cult, and then she calls it her group or her whatever. Her friends or her, and so it's, Thank you, Irma. So it's not Palo Santo is for cleansing negative energy. And so it does smell good. And so she's been in one, and she was probably in one at an early age. I asked a little separate question. If she ever started one, maybe that's why she's susceptible to it, because she was the mastermind. But no, she was sort of religiously controlled, because it's my God card, and then the Temperance. She was religiously controlled, 7 of Wands since forever. So it's in her. It's part of her. I mean,
I get that too from her Grand Tableau, because she sits on the House of House, very comfortable, but there's something with her family, and then you follow that down, and it's got Bear in her house. So very overbearing family, probably her mother. Very overbearing, controlling, like all that stuff. So if I'm interpreting the Grand Tableau correctly, it stems from childhood, coming from a very controlling, authoritarian type of home, as a child.
That makes sense. That's what usually happens to religious people. I mean, well, I won't say that. That's what happened to me. And it's like you grow up this way, and that's who you are. You don't question it. And then that's not something you say to a Gemini, because then I say, why?
Linda Kinsley is saying that she's from a religious rich family. Well, they can have all the money in the world. That doesn't make them good people. If they're controlling mind-fucked assholes, then what do you expect they're going to do to their kids,
They do also, if you are wealthy, they do want the image protected. So you need to fall in line with the community.
Yep.
If we're all going to be Christian or Catholic or whatever, then you can't be over here doing chants and Palo Santo in your house. You're a little outside of the norm here.
No, we already read on the Supreme Court rulings having impacts on the midterms, correct? We already read on that? Okay. Vice News is asking women to come forward. They're asking women to come forward and share their stories about men in positions of power, so politicians, paying them to have abortions. Will any women come forward with that? They're willing to pay them.
Down in Tennessee that ought to come forward because everybody already knows about her.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're willing to pay these women. They're offering to keep them. So
a married politician in Tennessee paid his mistress to have an abortion while he was anti-abortion.
Yeah, isn't that? I mean, but I remember there was a guy like that a few years ago, but he resigned. He had the decency to resign. These fuckers now will be like, so what?
They don't have any decency.
They don't have any decency left. They'll be like,
they don't have a conscience.
I turned to Jesus and I confessed for my sins. It was in my past. I'm not doing that again. Meanwhile, they're boning a 15-year-old next door. You know, like.
Yes, women who were marginalized, you know, that they paid for the work to be done, you know, from this, yes, strength, and a lot of them.
These little fuckers sure do like to stick their nose in everybody's business and then have a cow when everybody finds out about all their little dirty secrets, you know?
Paul says ban Viagra. There you go. Because they can get it because it's considered a medical condition.
Mm-hmm.
Just say it's God's will, and I agree.
Well, if they ban...
If it's God's will for you to get pregnant, then it's God's will for you to have limp dick. Because guess what? Pregnancy starts with the penis. So regulate that shit first. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Larry. My sentiments exactly. If they're going to ban contraceptives, then ban Viagra.
Nobody wants to
I get, yes, there will be some women to come forward. They will be talking to some men here. So I'll just say yes. I'll leave it at that.
I get a yes. Family, abundance, and then opportunities. So there might be quite a few that knocked up some ladies on the side and then made payments to make those babies go bye-bye.
I would like to know, have any of the Supreme Court justices paid for abortions?
Oh,
because you know, Mr. Kavanaugh, I like beer in women, and you know Clarence Thomas has a history of sexual harassment. Have any of the members of the Supreme Court paid for an abortion? Oh, somebody's going to be nervous again. Are we going to find out one of our justices paid for an abortion? Ooh, man. What are you getting, Johnny?
Yes, don't know who though.
I'm getting a yes too. I'm getting Probably got it at a party. It wasn't wanted, so forced interaction. So guess who that probably is?
I like beer.
On the courts, and like, we got to fix this. We got to change this, so he could walk away without having to worry about the kid. Structurally, yes. Paid for something for a woman, and now he's like blocking it for other women. But I'm getting a couple of women here, like maybe a couple.
You know, it would be lovely if those women came forward and were like, yeah, we have the evidence that he paid me to have an abortion. He doesn't give a fuck. Do you think that would lead him to resign? No. Do you think the Christians that the Taliban that put him up there would ask
Could
him
be
to resign?
some grounds for impeachment, though. It's like, okay, you're taking away a right that you used.
Yeah, they would impeach him. He wouldn't be removed
because he did not have one. She did.
Yeah.
Yep.
He just paid for it.
He just paid for it and told her to do it. You know, because according to their mentality, women aren't even mentioned in the Constitution. So I get a yes. Big problems in the court, but that's a big old yes.
Yeah. I think it's more than one.
God damn.
Can I ask, with the war on women being in full swing now, what's next? What are they coming for next?
Okay.
You know, I don't know how to phrase this. It's almost like they're going to try to force them to cling to what they've got, like husbands, like try to force them to stay married, procreate, so to speak.
So banning divorces then?
Or alimony or support, like welfare or something, if you need it, like if you're trying to get out, like you're an abused wife and you're trying to get out. So they're putting their independence out in the cold to burden them. So support things. So, if it's charity or whatever, if it's they've got a abusive spouse, abusive partner, something that they may, food stamps, those kind of things that they may need to get out and get away. They're going to force them to try to stay married somehow. That's what I'm getting.
I get that also, but I get that there's something to do with healthcare still, and it may also be tied to emergency care. But this is specific to women. This is not a part that a man has. So there is something to do with healthcare still. And it also may be tied to some sort of emergency or preventive or accidental care or something like that. There's also something here about poverty and trying to move away from that. So like Jen said, maybe alimony or something like that. But there's an action around financing too. So but it's trying to move away from this. So there's either some sort of thing that women get specifically for, but it's something to do with financing and money and emergency care.
So say your husband knocked you up because the state that you live in, abortions are illegal and so are contraceptions, which they shouldn't be because, Merrick Garland came out and said, no, the abortion pill is still safe. So you can't get an abortion. You're forced to go and get pregnant and carry children to term.
Say you're raped by your husband.
So you're raped by your husband, and then you pop out 6 kids, and then he decides he's going to trade you in for the younger model down the street, and then tough shit, you're on your own.
You're on your own, and
you're on your own
got all the
with
kids.
No rights. With no rights. With no rights.
We'll take away any support you need, like food stamps or welfare or anything that you need to get on your feet.
Because isn't that what Jesus would do? Because Jesus would do people while they're down. I get the next thing that they're coming for is something that has to do with sex or sexual activities between couples is in trouble. It's a big trouble. So sex, couples, trouble. So I don't know if that means they want to find out if you're participating in your sexual activities and doing sodomy. They want to outlaw that. Like, what are you going to do? Start putting cameras in people's room to see who's having anal sex? You know what I mean? Banning oral sex. We're sorry. It is now law in the state of Oklahoma that you can only have sex for the purposes of procreation on a Saturday at 6 o'clock, missionary only. Like,
I went to a church like that. That's the purpose of it. Pastor had 9 kids.
Jesus fucking Christ. Like, there's been a lot of talk that they're coming after, John Cornyn was on Twitter saying to overturn Brown versus the Board of Education, which deals with segregation. He came out in full swing, just said,
might as well just said I belong to the KKK at that point.
Yeah. So will the Supreme Court overrule Brown versus Board of Elections? Which would be which would be extremely hypocritical, considering that there's a black man on the Supreme Court. And by the way, solely one black person in the Senate, who stick him in the basement.
There's a black woman on the Supreme Court. There's no black man.
Yeah, what are you going to put a separate water fountain for him in the Supreme Court?
And make him sit in the basement?
I mean, you should anyway. Make that sucker drink out the dog dish, because he ain't no good to nobody.
The dog dish is too clean. Make him drink
out the petri dish. What the goofy girl call it? Not the petri dish. The peach tree dish.
I hope they raid her peach tree dish.
Oh gosh.
Court overturn Brown versus the Board of Elections. Will they overturn
Board of Education
Brown versus the Board of Education? Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm telling you how hypocritical that would be, because I mean, say that it does happen. Say that they do it next week or next month. They come out with the ruling that we have overturned, Brown versus the Board of Education, and we're going back to a segregated state. Are they going to carve out rules for themselves and exemptions? Because by that logic, Clarence Thomas can no longer sit on the Supreme Court. The other black dude over there in the Senate can't sit there. Like,
it's not overturn. It's like maybe changing something about it. Like, there's an inspiration to do that, but it like transitions. Like, so maybe trying to end it or overturn it. Yeah, but there's a fight about it, so they realize they can't go all the way. But I get maybe trying to change something about it, and I get a yes on that they may try to change something, but I don't get completely overturning.
I get no with the Eight of Swords, but it is also not secure, so that means they're going to keep trying to. I mean, that's the playbook. Everything I don't like, let's get rid of it. So they're still going to try, but no.
I get that is the direction that they're hoping to go. Important, significant hope, and then the news and the delivery of it. So it's like, yes, we want to do this, but how do we do this? Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
they'd have to get Clarence Thomas off the court first, because
I mean, unless they figure out a way to carve him out and make an exception for him. He's not really black; he's white. What are you talking about?
He's got to recuse himself because he's black.
Yeah. I mean, come on, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. So there's been rumors that John Cornyn is in the KKK. Can we look to see if John Cornyn is associated with any white supremacist group?
What's his name?
John Cornyn.
Cornyn.
Cornyn. Cornyn. John Cornyn associated with a white supremacist group. Jesus.
Jesus don't know you, devil.
He's pissing me off with letting all this damn kids run around. Come get your children, Jesus. I'm tired of cleaning up the mess.
Card carrying, flag waving member, no. Partnering with them, yes. Because I get he's independent from them. He sneaks around with the young people, he'll charge in and do stuff with them. But I get it's more like he partners with them to be the devil, throw everything off balance, and to block stuff. So he partners with them.
That's what I get to. I got my racism card.
What card is that, Johnny?
5 of Pentacles.
Oh, okay.
And yes and no. To me personally, not the cards, to me personally, if you're okay with it, you're a racist too.
Yeah.
If you can, at the very least, you're racist adjacent, as I called. If you are a Donald Trump supporter and you're okay with his racism, you're racist too.
If you're partnering with them, then you're already one of them. So yeah, just because you don't carry the card in your wallet.
He works with the irrational people here. But I'm going to say not necessarily a Klansman, but he is a cult member of some sort. It's driven by money and power and fame and fortune and like Illuminati type stuff. So there is some sort of that type of thing, that he is involved in very wealthy, disgusting people, like the family, like that type of thing.
Because Jesus said, be racist.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love these Jesus teachings, man. I'm telling you, Jesus, come get your children. This ain't funny. I get yes. It's a smaller group or a new group or something. Like you said, he doesn't have to have a card. He doesn't have to have a plaque on his wall. But
he has access to them.
So, in my view, yeah, you are. So, it's like, it's not like you're getting a membership at Costco. No, dude, you like hang out with these people. You know what I mean? So here's my next one. Okay, I already asked these two. Let's see. Oh, I asked this one too. Okay. Did any Republican women take pregnancy tests today and realized that they're now Democrats? Meaning, the overturned.
They want the right to choose.
Yeah. So, has that recent decision changed Republican women's minds or made them change parties?
Anxiety cardigan. Oh no! It turned blue. Practical women concerned about fertility and protecting their rights, yes. Yeah, being naive about the patriarchal society. Yep.
Which, I mean, you know, the ones that are brainwashed by a religious cult and think that it's women's job to be subservient to a man, that's you. Don't force the rest of us to fucking do that shit. What if my religion says you have to take it in the ass for your husband every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday through Friday? Does that mean I get to shove it down your throat? No. You know, so it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. What'd you get, Johnny?
I get for some, the conflict is a burden here, but it is seen as the unexpected pregnancy or the unexpected child is seen as a blessing, and they will take it. They will keep it. And so I get no, basically.
I get some. I get that some women were very loyal and loving of that before in the past, but now it's just a party full of old white men, extremely conservative. The women that, you know, they're just Republican because of, like, the what's her name that's always on CNN. She's not Puerto Rican, is she? I think she's Dominican. I forget her name. You know who I'm talking about? The Hispanic woman that's always. She used to go on The View a lot, Johnny.
Anna Navarro.
She's
Puerto Rican.
She's Puerto Rican. Okay, so she's a conservative. They believe small government, but now you're telling me government's going to tell me who I can marry, who I can't marry, when I can have kids, what I can and can't do with my body, if you can be gay or whatever. That's government overreach, and I think that's what it is, what this is saying. And there's a woman here that's very popular amongst conservative women as well, that has a loving, loyal fan base too, that may be able to, I don't know, campaign or have some swayage, because this is a party of retirees. How about we put it that way? Old white retirees living in a senior community.
Yeah, next thing you know, they'll try to stop women from having hysterectomies when they need them and stuff.
Yeah. Or make women, ban women from the workplace, because the woman, according to them, is not in the Constitution, so therefore you don't have rights. Yep. You know, like, you know, mind you, they're interpreting the Constitution, which is over 200-something years old, from the perspective of a rich white man that's a slave owner. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
That declared their independence in 1776, and not everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Just theirs, because blacks and women have no rights. So Amy Kremer, who is the founder of Women for Trump, is now publicly denouncing Donald Trump because he didn't back Mo Brooks, and Mo Brooks lost his re-election bid. And she is saying that Donald Trump is out of touch with his base. Will she?
Nothing's changed. He's still the same person he's always told you he was.
He's not in touch with his base. He's not MAGA country. He wants to be a city slicker. He wants to be famous and up there with these people. He would love to be Obama, like the rock star president. That's what he wanted. He's not trying to. He don't care about tractors and cornfields and.
The guy shits on a golden toilet. Do you think he gives a crap about what you're doing in small town middle America? No.
He doesn't care.
He was promising you that he was going to change Michigan and everywhere else, in the Midwest that went under. You're still waiting for that. It never came. He shits in golden toilets, people. I mean, come on. When he's not shitting in his diapers, he's shitting in golden toilets. So will she have any, will she be able to change the minds of the women that she organized under Women for Trump, since she's now publicly denouncing him? There's Lucy. Lucy's looking to cause trouble.
Somewhat, Republicans that are surprised, by Trump, how he's turning out. I get she'll move women forward to another male leader, and a yes card on that. But
it's like, how did she not notice? Everybody that has gone against him, he has gone straight up petty boots and singled him out and targeted that person. And you're just now figuring this out after Mo Brooks lost?
She's not, she's not going to have as much impact as women who just completely break away from the party. She's not going to be that impactful. Right, Lou?
I missed the question, so I'll set this one out. I got distracted.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to give you a few minutes, Johnie, or you just don't want to answer it?
No.
Okay. I get that she does have the power to influence by what she says, because she brought them together. That union was made on her marketing campaign or whatever, and she might be able to change a few minds by speaking out. So now, does that mean the entire Women for Trump are going to turn on him? No, but these people are easily led by the nose, because this sits in the middle. So all you got to do is appeal to their emotional side, and then you lead them by the nose, so. Hey, Nick, I want to let me see. Let me see. Okay. We did the outcome of states with the economic impact, right? Of the overruling and the
Yes.
in the registries. Okay. This one is also from Allie. Will the constituents in the GOP Christian states regret Roe v. Wade because they can no longer access birth control? Like the women that are on it to perhaps regulate their periods, or because they don't want to have children.
Because they've got endometriosis and
yeah.
Okay, say it again. I was distracted again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Will women in red states, the ones that are Christian but are taking contraceptives for medical reasons, will they regret the GOP when they start banning contraceptives?
Remind me to tell you what I was distracted about when we leave here. Okay.
yes in time. Yes in time, because they're being manipulated. There's some that may turn their back on the Republican Party.
I get a big old yes, and I stop there.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, because
that has to do with childbirth and women and all that. Four of Pentacles, they would like to hold on to their rights. Literally is what that would be saying. And then the conflict is the movement or the progression or the moving forward with what they have been moving forward with. Because, let me say this, I don't care what the name is on the news, there is no them, because they're going to do it to you if you let them do it to them. So there is no, oh, I'm not a woman, so this doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Because they're going to find your group eventually, and if you do not conform to what it is they say you are to conform with, or if you don't look exactly like they do, if you don't have the economic structure like they do, they're coming for you too. And so there is no them. I don't care if you're a Republican woman. There is no them. And, oh, I don't want to have an abortion, but I want to keep my this. No, you can't, because they took it from everybody. You're part of the everybody. There is no them.
That's kind of like how it started in Nazi Germany. Well, it's only them. It's only them. And then look what happened, you know? And to think that this doesn't impact men, it impacts men. It impacts men as well. So here's my next question. Because now the dog that caught the car is going to have to figure out what it's going to do with that car. The red states, are they going to regret this decision? Will the red states regret this decision?
Yeah, it's funny because like when Roe versus Wade happened, you know, there were a lot of people that were very torn about whether or not they were for or against. And it's like they just did something that in the 80s might not have like been frowned upon as much as now. You know, now 50 years later, like you don't overturn something that we've had for 50 years. They might have gotten away with it in the 80s.
Yeah, because the country hadn't progressed so much as we have now. So will the red states regret these decisions? Which is interesting too, because I saw something today and I was looking for my textbook, Johnie, and you might want to clarify this for me because you were a preacher, correct? So you understand the Bible a hell of a lot more. And I'm, you know, I studied some of it when I was in college, but it's been decades and I don't remember. But from my understanding, according to the book of Genesis 2:7, mind you, there's two versions of Genesis because apparently God was so mighty and powerful, he fucked it up and had to do it again twice. Okay, like, so doesn't it say that in Genesis, life begins at your first breath?
Mm-hmm.
So then where do they get that life begins at the fetus? Because we're cherry picking the Bible, because according to the Bible itself, it says life begins at
when
your
you breathe into your nostrils.
Yeah, begins on your first breath. So
I get that they watch what their supporters do, and you know, women, if they're in particular feeling out in the cold. But I get they're like business as usual. They'll just go along their happy way. I get no, they won't regret it. But they think women will just lay down and take this, you know, and won't speak up. But it's interesting. I'm getting Biden and Kamala are offering something up soon. Don't know what that is, and that kind of changes things and puts a different spin on it.
Johnie, go ahead, because I'm going to ask a question before I forget it.
Yes, this will have an effect on the red states. Devil and the Four of Pentacles. So there is trying to hold on to dangerous beliefs. The devil is unhealthy attachments. Now you have to also keep in mind, the people are never, ever, ever chained to the devil. They're chained to the ideology because they're chained to the podium that he stands on. So the creature does not have power over you. This is something you doing because of something going on in here. And so this is your mentality that keeps you that way. But this has very, very emotional. Both of these are surprise cards. One is oh damn and the other one's oh shit. So this is right now, because this is going to be very emotional and it's going to hit very hard, but I guess I can say, I mean, that's what this is. It comes out of nowhere, but they act, I guess, and didn't think of the other part. So it's like, just take the rights away. We don't really care about what happens afterwards. Like, we didn't, I don't know. I don't know how you don't expect the afterwards. I don't. Okay.
It's they lack, because it sounds great when they're on the campaign trail. Their rhetoric sounds fantastic. It sounds wonderful. It gets people to come out and vote. But then when the reality hits, it's like, oh, fuck, what are we going to do? Our population exploded by, I don't know, 1 million because everybody's, getting raped or having to force births, or we took away their contraceptions. Now there's babies everywhere. We don't have the public funds. We don't like to pay taxes. We get all of our money from the federal government, which makes me wonder. I know this sounds horrible, but it's like, can Biden or the federal government say, no, you guys did this to yourselves. We're not giving you any more federal aid. We're not giving you federal aid. You did this to yourself. That's something I would do because I'm an asshole. But
yeah,
I get that they're going to regret it. Perhaps there's a boycott where people don't travel there and it impacts business. Because here's travel and business money for travel, but there's a block. So maybe people stop going. There's a stall, and then there's going to be an abundance, a pileup of problems. So I get that they're going to regret it when it impacts them economically. So
yeah. Like, who would want to move to one of those states, and who would want to travel there?
What business would, how are you going to expand business and enterprise when companies are looking to go somewhere cheaper and they're like, well, we could go to Oklahoma or Texas, but our female employees, nobody's going to want to work for us because they have no rights in that state. So they're blocking enterprise and business. And that's when they're going to regret, oh, fuck, we shit the bed when we shouldn't have, So that's all I got. That's all I got for tonight, y'all.
And thank you, KARIN, for reposting the questions.
What was that last question you said? Will it how'd she phrase it?
Can he withhold federal aid?
Oh, will he withhold federal aid?
If he did, then he would be just like Trump, because Trump tried to do that too.
Yeah, targeting enemies.
But here's the thing. Those states didn't do it. I know this sounds petty, but I'm going to go there because these motherfuckers are going after other women. They're going after women and hurting people. Trump did that on purpose to hurt his political enemies. These people are purposefully hurting people. So why would you do that and then expect somebody else to come in and save the day when you did that to yourself? No, you did that to the people in your state. You clean up your shit, But that's just me. That's just me.
He's not going to volunteer money for him to help him, but he's not going to give him extra money, either.
Okay, so I'm going to end it on a petty question that I just thought of, unless you guys want to reword it. Hypothetically, not saying it's going to happen, but hypothetically, if Marjorie Taylor Greene's house was to get raided, how would she react? Somebody please be filming that shit and put it all over because I would love to see it.
Okay. I'll throw in this, but you gotta show us how would Melania react if Trump's Mar-a-Lago got raided.
Okay. No, I think they're in New Jersey right now because they can't be residents in Mar-a-Lago full time. So I think they're in Jersey now.
He's been DJing a lot of weddings down there.
Can you believe that? What a piece of work that guy. Went from being a failed reality TV star to being a failed president and hated globally.
There's your house.
All these crashing weddings at your resort because you got kicked off of Twitter. How would Marjorie react to being rated?
Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you, Patricia. She'd lawyer up first. It's like if they came in, here's the house. If they came in, knock, knock, FBI here, it would throw her off balance and cause her anxiety here. I get, treachery. She would pass judgment on them. She would no, I'm not going to leave. No, I'm not going to do this. But I get they would find an abundance of information at her house. But I get when she's standing out there in her jammies and everything, she's not going to cooperate. She's not going to give them much. But she's going to lawyer up pretty quick. I got to go find a lawyer. Hello. Because, regrets, remorse, and guilt.
Playing the victim, on the floor of the House of Representatives.
Playing the victim and doesn't have a pocket pardon.
Yeah, coming from the woman that literally harassed a high school student. That's rich.
Does she have kids?
I think so. Mm-hmm.
There's something here. She would be shouting something from the Constitution, like something about her rights. Like she would be shouting it over and over again because I get the.
They took away your Miranda rights, idiot.
She would be saying something about First Amendment, or something. I don't know. She would be saying something over and over and over again. She would also be claiming that they're assaulting her kids or some child or something like that. So it's that, but she would. No,
she has kids.
Well, there's something here about being assaulted in child, and I don't know. There's also, for whatever reason, she would be covered in dirt.
They have to wrestle her down in the yard, and
it's almost like while they're there, she's trying to bury something, and she has no shovel, so she's doing it with her hand. Georgia dirt ain't that hard to dig through. There's something, because the first thing I pulled is she would be covered in dirt, and I'm like, I'm gonna say it anyway because it's funny, but I don't understand.
She's gonna dig in the yard like she's burying a bone like a dog out in the backyard
like Stewie Rhodes. She would be like Stewie Rhodes using a shovel.
She's got tunnels.
She has 3 children.
3.
Uh-huh.
There's something about, not that they are anything is going with her children. She's saying that they're assaulting my kids, or you're endangering my kids, or scaring my kids, or whatever. Something about her kids, I don't know. But she's also covered in dirt for whatever reason.
She's out there digging tunnels like Stewie Rhodes, Johnny. She's digging.
She sleeps in the ground like a gopher or something. But
I get that she would lie about the investigators and what knowledge the Department of Justice or the lawyers have in regards to the election. But it's funny because here's the crossroads. I'm gonna go with Johnny. She's gonna be covered in dirt because she's like rolling around in the tunnels.
Tunnels underground. Maybe she'll end up shooting her own eye out.
she's got dirt everywhere.
Maybe it's metaphorical, as in like she's got dirt everywhere, as in like she's covered.
No, I saw dirt. Like there's dirt, not dirt as in. I mean, I'm sure she's got dirt in her house, but no, I mean dirt. Like she's got dirt on her, so she's either digging in the ground, or she's been digging in the ground, or something's. Yeah, she's got dirt. Maybe she was just in her potting soil. I ain't saying she was doing something wrong. I'm just saying she's got dirt on her for some reason.
Maybe she has dirt on her because she thought the smart thing to do would be to take home documents and like bury them somewhere.
Or maybe she's eating it because maybe it's from Canada and she's eating it. So she was having dinner and y'all bust in on her. How dare you?
Well, that's it. We're done, y'all. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Thank you, Johnie and Jenny, for the laughs tonight. We hope to have alleviated some of the stress and anxiety going on right now because of the recent rulings and the more that are coming. Don't let this get you down, guys. Just get active. Don't take a beating and go sit down in the corner and cry. Get back up. We got this. It's just going to take.
You're going to be insulted, be inspired.
Yeah, like Johnie said, if you're going to be insulted, be inspired. Don't get kicked in the face and sit down. Get up and fight. I might try to go live this week again a few times because I have quite a few more grand tableaus to do and whatever. So watch out for that. Thank you to all the moderators. Thank you to everybody that super chatted tonight. You guys are wonderful, and I really appreciate it. Next week, we shall be on Sir Johnny's channel over here. I'm going to knight you, Johnie. I'm going to make you Sir Johnie. So we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.